Now we're going live.
Cool.
You gotta love when it just says, you're going live. You're live. Hey, look at that. Look at that.
You are live.
All right. This is one of those live streams that we didn't think was going to actually happen, but it happened.
Until literally like this morning.
Well, it's funny, too, because I was telling Dylan a little bit of a medical procedure that I'm not going to discuss on the live stream because it's gross. So I'll let people guess what the medical procedure was. We only have one person in here? What? There's like 3 people waiting. We go live and everyone's like, out.
Everyone's like, peace.
I named the live stream. This live stream has no name, so that could be part of the problem.
That could have something to do with it. Can you rename it on the fly, or do you have to like start over?
No, I can rename it.
Oh,
why? What should I rename it?
We should play a joke like that sometime. Like just rename the stream every 5 seconds and just wait and see if anyone notices.
I don't want to know what YouTube would do to me for playing around like that.
This is good.
YouTube would punish me somehow. I'm not exactly sure how. Hey, Ms. Ravioli, how's she going?
Miss Raviolo.
Yeah, so I had to go in for a medical thing, which pushed back. We're going to PEI tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. So I had Friday off, so I'm like, might as well go live. Let's have a little bit of fun with that. It's been a wild week. It has been such a wild week. The viewership on this channel has tripled in the past 5 days. Mm-hmm. Like absolutely tripled. Mind-blowing. I couldn't believe it when it just popped off all because of one video. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, it's gonna suck if we can't do a live this week. Yeah. Like with all this crap happening, and I'm like, I can't go live. Sorry, kids.
Yeah, sorry guys. Sorry y'all. You know what would be fun to do? I just thought of something. You know what would be fun to do would be to have I don't know, some kind of a Zoom invite for like members and like kind of a get to know your audience. Cause like there's so many people on here that we talk to all the time, but I know like next to nothing about them. Like what brought you here? What are you interested in? What's like, you know, how does our information help you? Like it'd be kind of neat to get to know some people around here.
TechMed, cheers, brother. Thanks for the super chat. How's she going, bud?
Cheers.
No, that'd actually be kind of cool. Do a weekly like Zoom call with members. Or just like sit around, drink, and shoot the shit. Yeah,
exactly.
Or monthly. Monthly would probably work into our schedule a bit better.
Probably, yeah. Like maybe every once every 4 live streams we do, instead of doing a live stream, we do like a members Zoom.
Or we could do like a 1 hour after, like we do the live stream and then go
like
into
the Dark Corner Studios after party.
Yeah, the after party. No pants allowed. Yeah, cheers, TechMed. Appreciate that, brother. I don't have anything like this is part of the problem with like it being an incidental live stream. I wasn't looking at any tech news. I can say one thing. SE is coming out with some new products soon. And those new products are gonna be cool.
Know? You get some insider info for us?
Yeah, it's being sent to me.
Nice.
I can't tell you anything more than that because I didn't even tell them I was going to tell you that.
Have they told you what it is? Like you know what it is, obviously.
I 100% know what it is.
Nice.
It's going to be something that will appeal to the shopper with less money. How's that?
It's good.
The shoppers
good. We need some
money.
more.
That's about all I can tell you until I actually get hands on because I don't think it's pulling my chain, but some stuff is coming. That's kind of cool. I also have the review on the Sex mic is coming out tomorrow or Monday. Sorry. So
SCX.
We literally have viewers coming in and leaving. Like, maybe this is part of the problem with everyone thought we were off for the Friday, but also
I thought about that earlier. I was like, you know what? There's probably gonna be a number of people that are not gonna show up because they're like, they're not doing it this week.
Well, hey man, if we have to do a live stream for 5 people, that's cool too. I also think there's something wrong with live chat. Are you in this stream?
I am, yeah. I see obviously Miss Ravioli's comment, hello, and then I see TechMed's, hey guys, that's all I got.
That's it, eh? It seems it just kind of went blank on me.
All right, mine shifted up. Mine like TechMed's like the whole thing shifted up as if it was about to drop a comment somewhere, but then it didn't.
Well, how about this, Dylan? Let's fill some time. Louis Beltroni, you're great, guys. Thanks, man.
Well, thank you.
Cheers, brother. If you've never been to the live stream before, if there's anybody new in the chat, new in the audience there, this is usually our time where we sit back and we shoot the shit with people in chat. So I mean, if you want to chat with us,
talk about the news of the week. But because we didn't actually think there was going to be a stream,
Lewis says need help.
All right, lay it on us, Lewis.
Bring it on, man.
I'm drinking.
While we're waiting for you to type that up, so Dylan, are you technically allowed to share?
I am.
News? All right, so Dylan, share your news because this may have implications with the channel. So go ahead, share your news.
It may. So I, as of August 22nd, this has been in the works for a while, but as of August 22nd, I will be the production manager for Eastern Canada for Rogers Communications.
Damn.
Yeah.
So just a small job.
It's a tiny gig. Yeah.
Just the eastern part of Canada, not the whole Canada.
So what I don't know for sure because we didn't exactly talk about this before stream, but I'm guessing what Aiden's referring to is the fact that I'm going to be living in the same city as Aiden again, which means that we'll be able to collab on a lot more stuff. We'll also probably do at least the majority of these streams in person when we can swing it.
Yeah, I think so. Like when we can swing it. I'm not going to say like every week, but it'd be nice to do 1 or 2 a month.
It would be. I mean, that one time that we did it last summer, that was kind of neat. So yeah, big changes coming for moi.
I feel like we need to have a different setup. Like, I don't know, like more of an L-shaped desk. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, something visually interesting. I don't know. Get the Hockey Night in Canada, centerpiece there.
Yeah, I like that. Dan says, "Hey guys, hey Dan, how you doing,
Dan.
buddy?" My voice did something weird there. Don't bring it up. TechMed says I can't be very active because I'm on duty tonight. TechMed, I actually set it so the only people that can comment are subscribers. So we should be okay for the most part, but I can handle some of it. It's all good. Lewis says SM7B cloud lifter and a 2i2, and yet the sound I don't know. So much money, but already made the purchase. That should be. I was going to say that. Fine.
That setup sounds good.
So your SM7B with the cloud lift, you got to remember, Lewis, SM7B isn't a naturally great sounding mic. Mm-hmm. SM7B sounds great with compression, EQ, all that kind of stuff on it. So if you're looking for a nice, clean, really decent sounding microphone, the SM7B and a cloud lifter isn't necessarily going to be that, especially if you have a lower voice. It might sound a little muddy still.
I mean, the SM7, you definitely need some compression is a must. EQing would be ideal. It's not really a live streaming mic. I mean, it was never really designed for that. It was designed to go through a ton of processing, like at a radio station. And the RE20 also, I find, without any processing, doesn't sound very good. Like, I'm going through a ton of processing right now.
Yeah.
Which is why the RE20 sounds the way that it is right now. But depends what you're using it for. If you're using it for recorded stuff, get Audacity or some DAW, maybe Pro Tools first, and play around with some EQ nodes in there, some paragraphic or just parametric EQs, and just try to sculpt the sound. It will need some sculpting. I use my SM7 as my daily driver, and it goes through a pretty hefty chain of processors. It sounds amazing at the end of it. It sounds like better than my U87 almost. But I've got probably 6 different processors in a row on that mic.
Right. Ms. Ravioli, are you two leaving us? No! Dylan's just going to be moving closer to me, so we'll be able to collaborate on more stuff, which would be kind of cool. Like, I've got some ideas for some videos that really would go off better with the second person.
I think, Aiden, you're supposed to read that. Are you two leaving us? I think
is that how
isn't the upside down question mark the click?
I don't know.
Somebody told me that once, and I still don't know if they were pulling my leg or not. But I
don't think so. I know there are certain languages that will put. Is it Spanish that it will actually put one on either side? Pretty sure.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've seen it. Lewis says, "Whoa, okay, I'll be here listening." Cheers, bud.
I'm gonna look that up.
Feel free to jump in. Ken says, "Hin kids." I think Ken's having a seizure. I believe he meant to say hi kids, but somebody should check in on Ken just in case.
Dunce cat.
As he's falling down, he hit hin kids instead of poor Ken. That's actually a relatively big thing that'll be happening this fall. I'm not going to give anything away on time frame because We'll get there when we get there. We're not going to be living close to each other, though. I think that's the one thing we both have to remember. You're going to be close to work.
Yeah.
And I know where your work is. And I don't live close to your work at no point.
I'm actually going to be even, like, you know where the work is. So I'm actually going to be living further east of work.
Yeah.
Not in, like, within walking distance, but still further away.
How do you get further east of that? Like, I know what's down
not
there.
much.
I used to work down there too. I used to work at Coke.
Not much. You know where Walkley and Saint Laurent are?
Oh, there. Okay, Elmville.
I'm not like there, but I'm like up from there.
Oh yeah, so it's a good walk to work.
Yeah, decent 45-minute jaunt.
Eric. Yeah, Eric. Any thoughts about OBS V28 that's coming out soon? They finally updated internal random and render engines for HDR streams and recordings. I haven't actually looked into it. So my medical issues this week have included a bit of a concussion where I knocked myself out. I believe it was last Friday, after the stream. I basically knocked myself out in the stairwell. Was it last Friday or before that? Anyways, I haven't been on a lot of screens over the past week because I can't, which is kind of nice. This doesn't take much of a screen. So yeah, I'm not actually on the up and up for OBS. I'm also not a great OBS whiz. I have a few YouTubers that I follow that kind of keep me on the up and up. I'm not very OBS savvy. This is about the best I can pull off a split screen between me and Dylan. And it's not even perfectly split down the middle. Come on, what am I doing? But yeah, from what I hear, it's massive. Like, it's absolutely massive. HDR streams and recordings is ridiculous. The amount of information that's in an HDR signal.
Yeah.
That's I don't know how many people are going to even be able to watch it. Like,
yeah, well, that's it. I mean, there has to be a network connection that can sustain that for, in a stable way. And also, obviously a device that can support it, which most modern smartphones do, but laptops, it's still a bit of a mixed bag.
Yeah. Well, and like I've got an HDR screen behind me, the 43-inch, but it's HDR10. So it's not like Uber HDR, it's just base HDR. And even then, like, I don't have HDR on because you can't get much HDR content. However, having games streamed with HDR on would look gorgeous. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. Lewis uses StreamYard. Yeah, I just use base OBS. I mean, the streams we do aren't exactly begging for a large amount of infrastructure to get them by. It's two guys talking into a mic for an hour. So, Quebecer. Canadian network to watch HDR. Ooh, God, it's going to get even slower. Oh, I know, right? That's why I don't bother. For me, because I don't watch physical media, HDR doesn't seem to matter. However, I do plan on getting a PlayStation 5 at some time in the next little bit to actually do a little bit of HDR gaming. That would be kind of nice. The most important is that they will have tone mapping to standard definition SDR. So you can game in HDR and the stream is in HDR. So at least it makes it better for the streamers themselves. Yeah, that is nice. Very cool. Very, very cool. So that's the news of the week. Anyone else have more news? I have nothing, man. I've literally been away from the computer for basically 7 days. I got Monday's video done last week, like at the end of last weekend when I was like still struggling through and trying to figure things out. So is an SDR autocorrect. Sorry. No problem. So how is everyone doing anyways? What's your Friday looking like? Dylan? As he drinks his alcohol.
It's been busy. I got like 2 producers off this week, and then next week I got 5 off. So that's gonna be fun.
You got 2 producers off in one day. That's not bad.
Well, this whole week, 2 producers have been off the whole week, and then next week I got 5 producers off all week.
So you're literally doing the production of 5 people for the week.
Well, I'm not doing it, but I have to kind of do air traffic control and make sure that everything is accounted for and nobody's bogged down and all that.
Oh shit! Bangs just dropped one in the information, not what you're thinking. Isotope announces RX and Ozone 10.
Whoop.
I'm still on 6.
See, honestly, like I don't really get super excited about Isotope releases. Their products are good, but one generation to the next, there's not much that changes.
I've got literally 5 generations, I think, that I would need to hop up. That might be worth it.
They kind of add 1 or 2 things per generation. Like RX6 to RX7, they added music rebalance, which is a neat little feature. It's not perfect, but it's better than most other algorithms out there. And then, they seem to add 1 or 2 other little things or modules or something.
There's a couple things I would like just for doing some basic editing that they've released in, I think, the RX7 was the big one, or RX8, I can't remember. But they had a lot of little cute little filters that you could use on your audio to try to kind of like isolate voice and stuff like that. I think that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, well, that's what actually this past week I used Isotope Music Rebalance because I had to do a spot for a client that normally we have a jingle with. It was a Sympathy Flowers spot, and the jingle didn't work, but I still wanted to sing. So I just did music rebalance, dialed everything down but the voice, and it actually, there's still a teeny little bit of bleed, but it did a really good job, and then I just overlaid a key-matched bed, and it sounded perfect.
That's creepy, yeah.
Yeah.
Quebecer preparing to go to the North Pole. Tell Thunder Bay I say hi. Eric saw some news about the next Ryzen CPU boosting past 5.7. I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, DDR5 is terrifying right now. The price of it, I don't know if I would. I think I might actually wait a generation to upgrade.
The price of anything technological right now, but especially something new.
DDR4 is still relatively cheap, if I recall.
Yeah, and it's good. Like I'm running DDR4 and I don't have any space issues or any speed issues.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also like you were on DDR3 for how long, or were you on DDR2 before your last system? It was DDR3.
It was 3.
Okay.
But it was right at the beginning of the DDR3 life cycle.
Yeah, and I got in at the DDR4 or beginning of the DDR4 life cycle, so
I got in at the end.
Yeah.
Well, which is good because by the time I got into it, all the manufacturers had worked out all the bugs and found every optimization there is known to man.
Richard, hey everyone, happy Friday, brother. Bang says I skipped from RX7 to the $200 everything bundle, which got me the 2 new products for free. Music rebalance is great to pull movie quotes for stings.
Oh, that's for free, included. There is a difference.
Included. That's a good. That's a really good point. And grabbing like quotes and stuff like that without background sound can really be a pain in the ass when you're trying to put stuff together like that. Because you remember the quote in your head, but you don't remember what the background was like. I don't know how many times I've gone through something like that, and it's like, shit, it's just a music track.
I don't mind. That's it. I don't mind background noise or like various ambience in the background, but if there's like a music score under it, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
Because now I've got to try and match that music score with whatever bed I'm using for the thing that I'm creating. Pain in the ass.
Bang's not like anything exciting is going on in Taiwan right now. Prices will be fine. Oh God. You know what? I don't even have the full story on Taiwan. I don't think I want to know.
Nope.
I gotta say, being a week off screens has really balanced my life out. Have you? When's the last time you did that, where you kind of literally like didn't look at your phone, you didn't look at your computer, and you literally just stayed away?
Whenever it depends for how long. I mean, I think whenever my girlfriend is over, I know for me, I just think it's rude to be on my phone while I'm entertaining a guest. So, I get many hours at a time break then. But I think the last time I went for a long period of time was probably, I want to say back when I used to run a music festival.
Oh, geez.
Because it's camping and it's in the middle of buttfuck nowhere.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's been a while.
This is the first time in probably 12 years.
Yeah, I'd say for me, it's probably about 7 or 8.
Yeah, and like I'm exhausted saying that because I'm like, God. But just being away from screens and being away from everything that's going on, news, doom scrolling. Oh God, doom scrolling, being away from that. Like just going through Twitter.
Oh, fuck. Cesspool. The fucking cesspool.
Surrounded by
I hate
Chinese
Twitter.
Navy firing missiles en masse. Thanks, Banks. Thanks for the...
Yeah, basically it sounds like Ukraine 2.0.
Yay. Oh, this is going to be awkward.
Oh.
So what are you doing for the apocalypse? No, my wife went away too. They went on a 20-kilometer hike camping trip. So they hiked 5K, slept a night, hiked 10K, slept a night, hiked 5K. Anyways, it was a 4-day trip, and those 4 days, literally, I had nothing to do. I was just sitting back, relaxing. Cause
Nice.
yeah, well, I had to get a knock to the head to get that time off. But it's been a good time. I do have to say,
there's some goods and bads.
the lack of saturation for world events, though, I think has done my mental health pretty good. But then Bangs just reversed that with a single.
Well, the thing is, I mean, I don't know. I think there's this feeling by a lot of people, especially politically charged people within our culture, that we have to be dialed into every issue all the time. And then we feel like we're being irresponsible if we're not. And it's like being informed is good, but it's a privilege. There's not a requirement to know everything about everything that goes on. In fact, I envy the people that have no idea what's going on because they're probably a lot less pissed off at the world.
Wouldn't it be like a life without social media?
Oh, God. Life without the internet.
Ooh. I like the internet I use the internet for a lot of things that make my life easier. Maps is a great example. Google Maps. What is that beeping?
That's me pressing a number on a phone.
Okay. Google Maps, and just that alone has made not having to go to MapQuest and print out directions or owning a map. Think about that. Mm-hmm. Remember those days?
Oh, God.
Yeah. Anyways. Other than that, this is
Internet's okay, just not on my phone.
Okay.
Take it off my phone. Just put it on a computer that has to be physically plugged into a network. Take away all wireless, internet-based stuff, and I'll be happy.
So, by the way, I actually brought this up at the beginning of the live stream there. The channel has tripled in viewership over the past 5 days.
See, why the hell didn't you just call the stream that?
This is relaxed Aiden, man. This is Aiden who doesn't have a care.
Why is name in all caps? I need to know this.
Because I wanted to yell that one word.
This live stream has no name.
Hey, man, I'm the one that names the live stream, okay?
And I'm the one that makes fun of the names of the live streams.
Poseidon still keeps physical maps in the car. That is a great idea. I used to be a truck driver. To me, I would move to a city because I liked moving around when I was younger. I'd move to a new city. I'll go to a truck stop, buy a map for it. And that's all I would do is I would learn the city with a physical map. And it was like a book. You'd have to turn the pages.
Oh, yeah.
It was awesome. I miss that. Especially going around.
I think I have a map of Ontario somewhere that's like that. It's like a Bible.
It's awesome.
So many pages.
It's awesome. When I moved to Brampton, I did that.
Anyways, and every little fucking county, like Huron County and Oxford County. It's
I had one for the GTA, and it was it was all the little all the way up to Fort Erie, basically southwestern Ontario, essentially the whole thing, and it was like a Bible. It was awesome. But yeah, so over the past 5 days, this channel's tripled in viewership, which has been awesome. It's been kind of cool for somebody that isn't really interneting to see the numbers just not even slowly creeping up, going through the roof. I just wanted to say thanks. I appreciate that. It seems like YouTube decided to just kick the channel in its ass and give it a little bit of a shot. So I'm kind of dumb to how this stuff works. All I know is it just all of a sudden YouTube's like, all right, let's give him a shot. And people like a video. The video in question, by the way, I don't know if everyone's seen it, but it's the one where I quote unquote turn an SM58 into an SM7B, where I physically pull the transformer out and and I test it up against an SM7B. That thing's getting ridiculous views at this point. Ridiculous for me. Okay. I know there's bigger channels that can pull down bigger numbers, but for me, I'm you triple my channel in a day. That's awesome. The problem with Google Maps is that people can't read a printed map where the scale is at the suburb level, not the street level, like a map and a flyer. Yeah, I know. That's my kids have that problem. They cannot read a physical map. because the map doesn't give you directions.
No. Yeah, you actually have to plot a picture in your head. What a concept.
Bangs, I suspect it's end of summer back to school bump. No, it's a single video, dude. And you can see that on top of one other video is just starting to get boosted. I just changed the thumbnail up. Whenever you see a video starting to trend, where it's starting to gain momentum through recommended, you kind of take a look, make sure all your ducks are in a row, make sure your thumbnail's good. And these were a couple older videos that I hadn't... well, they happened like a year and a half ago. So I made sure that the thumbnails were updated and it looked as nice as possible. But man, talk about like, I look back on when I came to this house and I set up this studio as kind of a benchmark for when my quality went up. But I watched a couple videos from a year ago in this studio and I'm like, ugh, those are, why won't I shut up? What am I talking about? Why? And it's like, you can really see the evolution of stuff. It was kind of cool to go back and watch those videos, but whatever YouTube's doing, I just hope they continue to do it. Andrew C, or no, that was Bangs. Paul, a few years back, actually went 1 month with no smartphone, no dumb phone, no mobile communication device at all. I can describe the experience in one word: liberation. I hear that. I actually like that idea of spending a full month without any kind of connection.
A very large percentage, it's not a month, but a very large percentage of Canadians were forced into that liberation about 3 weeks ago.
That was what, 24 hours, 48 hours?
Some people it was like 3 days.
Days.
It's not a month, but there are some, like, I mean, again, we say liberation, but in a sense, our society has evolved clearly, just judging from the catastrophic nature of that outage. We are dependent on this technology now. We don't like to admit it, but it's true.
Poseidon says, saw a video the other day where a guy shouted that video out. He was 3D printing an SM7B style body and putting a 58 in it. At the end, he shouted me out. Oh, that's awesome. Poseidon, could you link that? I would love to see that. But yeah, that's the, where were we? Holy shit. My brain just went blank. Okay. You don't remember either. Okay. Anyways.
Well, we were responding to comments.
Oh, the liberation thing.
Yeah, the liberation of phones and shit.
Yeah, it's, you know what? And it's funny when you look at how society has come, like the idea of being without a smartphone. Smartphones have only been around since 2008-ish. The iPhone was the first mass marketed one. Mm-hmm. And before 2008, like, we got along just fine. I mean, MapQuest was a thing. That was a pain in the ass.
We did, but now there is a systemic expectation to have a mobile device.
Well, and I mean, it wasn't just, to be fair, it wasn't just mobile. It was like, people don't carry money. I haven't carried money in 4 years, and all of a sudden you needed money.
Even looking at cell phones, right? There's a lot of people that say, well, they need to have a phone on you at all times. It's stupid. But it's like, how many lives has it saved having a cell phone on you at all times? Like, how many times has someone had a heart attack in the middle of the street and people are like, oh yeah, I can't find a phone, right? Like, there's a lot of advantages and things. Get a
payphone. Oh, I'm not shitting on the idea of like society relying on it, but it's a weakness for the society when it can just shut us down like that. Like, that is an obvious weakness. So like, if our food system went down, nobody is capable of just starting a backyard garden and feeding themselves for a year.
Or very, very few people, at least in this continent. I think in other parts of the world are quite familiar with that.
Well, I mean, just the landmass. I was watching something about the landmass. The amount of acreage you need to feed your family for a year is much bigger than your backyard. Yeah. And it's like things like that where that's an obvious weakness to our society. Maybe that shouldn't be such a weakness. Anyways, Andrew, like Google Maps, what audio skills or fundamental knowledge is being lost with improved tech software in the audio space? Maybe the new
lots.
Device.
You think anybody in this day and age knows how to bias a tape machine? No, but again, the thing is like, just because knowledge is lost, it's like, well, that knowledge is irrelevant. I mean, look at in school, right? Are kids still learning how to add or how to do modular division? Probably not, because you have a phone that can do that. So what we have, the space in our brains that we've liberated from needing to store that information, we've then filled with other stuff. Now, whether that other stuff is useful or important is another story.
How much space in our brains used to be occupied by phone numbers?
Oh my God. I was just the other day, my parents were listing off the like phone numbers of people that they knew growing up. And I'm like, man, I remember a few, but none recently. All the numbers that I knew back then, I still remember, but anything like if I added someone to my contacts, because again, my phone has eased that burden from my brain.
I just got my daughter a cell phone just because she's finding a lot more independence lately. And I didn't even look at the cell phone number. I just put it in my phone. I'm like, good to go. Put it under her name. You're good. I will never know that number off by heart. It's my child's. Like, I don't know my other two kids. I have no idea what their numbers are.
My parents just got a new home phone number. Like, well, I say just got. It was like last year, and I have to look it up in my phone because I don't remember.
Yeah, right.
I remember their cell phone numbers because we've all had the same numbers for like the last 15 years. But yeah, it's wild.
This is awesome. First bangs. The murder rate is falling because the cell phone's providing ready medical attention. Yeah,
absolutely. Yep.
Red Cabin, this is awesome. At my full-time job, I need to authenticate at the app level after I log into the domain. Yep. I have to use my phone to use Word. Yep. I have to do that for my teaching job, too.
Yep, I have to do that at work as well. Same thing, that stupid Microsoft Authenticator app.
Oh, I use, I've got 3 different authenticators on my phone for work, different works, different things. I've got Entrust. I've got, like, all these, like, thumbprint authenticators that I have to use just to get into things. It's crazy. My now wife required I memorize her mobile number as my brain became weak for phone numbers. I remember, I actually specifically remember numbers if I interact with them twice. So if I dial a phone number physically twice,
yes, yep,
I instantly remember that number. I remember, so you know how like your Wi-Fi password is this long string of numbers? I know what mine is because I've entered it twice. And as soon as I entered it, I think it's like 14 digits long.
Your Wi-Fi password is a long string of numbers?
Yeah, it's numbers and letters. It's just on the back of the router.
Oh, you mean the default password? Why don't you change it?
Why?
I don't know, something that's more memorable.
But I just remember it anyways, and it doesn't matter if it's letters and numbers or whatever. As long as I interact with it.
You know, security experts say you're supposed to change that password once a month.
Well, for a home router, doubtful. Like that's probably not necessary.
I don't know. They say you're supposed to do it for everything. I don't.
No,
I don't. Nobody does that.
But... I have a list of my passwords that I cycle through, but yeah, anything that's attached to business or money, I'm actually getting a key generator.
Like a password manager?
Yeah, password manager for. Anything that I make money off of, I'm going to make sure is going to be well protected. But outside of that, I'm not going to, no. Like my Gmail.
Well, I think a good, like the way I think about it is I look at potential threat levels. So I have like a password that's basically a throwaway that I give like for Milano's orders or something. And then there's like every tier, like I think I have like 5 different tiers in a notebook. And the top tier is like banking. Yeah. Like that doesn't share a password with anything. So unless the bank itself gets hacked, I'm good. But then, yeah, I think it's good to think because, yeah, if Milano's gets hacked or Pizza Hut gets hacked or something, it's like it's good to know that not every other service that you have is compromised.
Well, yeah, like my Netflix password isn't anything like
it's severe. Like whatever. Yeah.
But if Netflix gets hacked, it's not going to kill me anywhere else.
Yeah, so, you're not going to have to change every password for everything.
I also don't link websites or emails and passwords together consistently, so one email won't be the same password for everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, anyways. Paul, I did it mostly as a test, and it isn't something I'd recommend for everyone. The most interesting result within a few days of starting, I noticed I was sleeping better, bar none. The day that I turned my phone off at night was the day I started getting decent sleep. Like I now turn my phone completely. So there's a do not disturb mode on the phone. Yep. And the only person that can disturb me is my wife and my children.
Yep.
Nothing else can disturb me. So if I get a phone call from my wife or kids, I'll wake up to it. Otherwise, nothing.
Yeah, I do not disturb too. It's a godsend.
It is so good.
Yeah.
Like the sleep difference is night and day. I would notice that, yeah, like I've got blue light filters on the glasses, As soon as I got those, my life got a lot better as well. Blue light filter. Even I know a few people that work with computers on a day-to-day basis. A few gamers that have fake glasses that just have blue light filters on them. Like they're not prescription. They've got that yellow tint, and that's what these have. And they're one of the best things I could have got. When I'm in bed, I actually put my glasses on to look at my phone, just so I avoid that blue light. It's worth it. You sleep a lot better.
It's funny how humans have evolved in the sense of now blue light in our brains represents daytime, but blue light used to represent nighttime before the advent of electricity. Yeah. You know, yellow light was fire. Fire is bad. Don't want fire. And then blue light was moonlight. So, but it's interesting how our brains have flipped that around now, and tungsten
cell phones.
Yeah, cell phones and tungsten light at night. You know.
Yeah, your brain gets trained, man. Yeah. Ever watched the Steve McQueen movie Bullet? Aside from the amazing car chase through San Francisco, the plot literally pivots around a 10-minute scene where they get a fax from Chicago. Nice. I watched it when I was a kid with my dad. That was just before my time. So, like, I remember my stepfather, it came on the movie network. Remember where we used to have you'd pay for the...
Yep.
Yeah, we had the movie network free for a Christmas. And so he made me sit down and watch it with him. I don't remember it whatsoever, but the idea that it's a fax from Chicago is fantastic.
That's great.
All right, it's 5:42. I got to say, Poseidon, I'm still waiting on that link, brother or sister, whoever you are. Poseidon. Poseidon
being.
person. I want to see that link of that video that shouted out my video. I really want to know.
Yeah,
because that's awesome. Actually, I could probably go through all of my,
or just pick some keywords out of how he described it and just search it.
In my stats, I can actually see where I'm getting viewership from.
Yeah,
I wonder if it was a big channel or not. Now I'm really curious.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Hey, go to police IT and go to the fax room. Yep, faxes still exist at the cops. Oh, yeah, Poseidon, I don't think you're allowed to put links in. I think it just deletes it, brother.
It's funny. I'll delete that, but not porn.
Yeah, right? Right? People are putting crap in there, and then you put a decent link in that I requested. Jose says, I saw that one yesterday. Pretty dope. Cool. Everyone's seen the video but me. That's awesome. Poseidon, if you can email it to me, my email is on the channel. If you go to the About on Dark Corner Studios channel, you'll see my email there. Just
Dark Corner Studios.
Drop me a line and let me know. I will search it out if you don't, but yeah, this thing must be deleting the links. The wrenches can allow links. I don't think I have any wrenches here right now.
Make me a wrench, goddammit.
Poseidon's just going to email it to me. I think I can put it in chat.
Probably.
See, this is the problem. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah, this is all kind of new, us using these interactive features of live streams.
Not only that, well, it's like I've never had to live streaming isn't the fundamental basis of the business that I do. Okay.
Yeah.
One of these days, maybe I'll set up a game. I wanted to set up a YouTube channel of just gaming. And then if anybody wanted to come over and just hang out and just shoot the shit game. But then I'm like, nah. Then I've actually got a game for 4 hours at a time.
Yeah. Have fun with that.
That's not dude. I watch some of my favorite gamers. Brian Menard's one of them. He does State of Decay 2. Dude streams for about 6 hours a day. Jesus. Streams for 6 hours a day. He does. He's great at it. But how do you get 6 hours a day to stream video games?
Yeah. Right.
I don't get that. How do you?
I mean, that's pretty much got to, unless you have another small part-time job, that's pretty much got to be your main gig at that point.
He was a truck driver, so he was an old military vet. He left the military after an injury, got a job driving a truck, because that's what he did in the military, I believe. He did some driving there. It was making decent money, and then all of a sudden, I think he hit about 25,000, and he went off on sick leave because of his old injury from the army. And I guess he just started streaming and found out that he could make enough money at it, which is kind of cool. But also at the same time, you're like, what the hell, man? Like, let's see if I got that email in yet. I got nothing. All right. I really want to see what that video is. Now I'm real curious. Any guesses, Dylan?
Nope.
Streamer that was making an SM7B body on a... See, I don't... Ooh, you know what I can do?
What?
I can Google search 3D printed.
I just searched on YouTube. Like I just typed in SM7B 3D print.
I saw this video in my thing. $30 DIY Shure SM7B microphone.
That's it? Okay.
I'm almost 100%. That's a DSLR video shooter. It'd be kind of cool if he shouted me out. I love his. He did. Holy shit.
Nice.
And how to perform it. Check out Dark Corner Studios' great.
Check out Dark Corner Studios. That would explain where my viewership has been coming from.
Probably, yeah. I was gonna say your viewing is tripled. Gee, I wonder why.
That's funny. It's when you're like, oh crap, I watch that guy all the time.
I mean, I don't, but I can imagine how disorienting that would be.
When I went to when I was looking at buying lights, and I'm always like in the market for cameras and stuff like that. Yeah. I was watching his channel for some of the background on lights and stuff like that. Oh, he's got an awesome channel. I had no idea dude gave me a shout out. That's awesome.
That's sweet.
I don't know what to do with that information now. Let's see what YouTube does with that information, because when that video hit July 27th, that's exactly when I started to have the massive
explode. Yeah.
So that would be right around the same time. And I'm guessing he's still getting the views on his video. Wow, that's cool. All right, I'm gonna have to go back. I saw the video show up in my recommended feed. But I did like a $30. I was like, I've already done that. I need to get a 3D printer. You know what this also tells me? I need to start doing more mod stuff.
Probably. I mean, it clearly generates buzz.
Bang says, I just criticize YouTube, and I think they nuked the comment. Which is why basing your living on YouTube and Twitch is insanity. It's not,
I kind of agree.
I don't necessarily. I honestly think, and I'm not saying this from a very personal standpoint, I still work a day job. However, if you're capable of doing so, do it. I think it's insanity that you base your income on being a radio show host. And like the radio industry here is firing people left, right, and center. The idea that you would make a living off of radio is no more ludicrous than making a living off of YouTube.
Although they're ludicrous for different reasons.
Yes,
YouTube is
absolutely.
Ridiculous.
Absolutely.
YouTube is radio is ludicrous because job security. YouTube is ludicrous because the work to pay ratio is shit.
It can be.
Again, unless you're one of the top 1% of content creators and actually can, get a sustainable living for multiple salaried employees.
Poseidon, don't worry about it, brother. I found the video. You're all good, brother. Yeah, no, and that's the thing. Like I'm in a position if my channel, if the yields that I've been getting from the past 8 days continued, and I started a growth pattern based on what's happened over the past 8 days, I would be able to do YouTube for a living. But I'm also very fortunate that I don't risk anything by doing YouTube for a living. Yeah. Like I risk nothing to do YouTube for a living.
Yeah.
So it kind of begs the question, like, is it ridiculous? For me, no. For a lot of people, for an 18-year-old, no, it's not. If an 18-year-old can get on and make more money on YouTube than he can at Starbucks, why wouldn't he do that? That is technically basing your living on YouTube. So I think it's very, like, for somebody like Dylan to quit his day job and start a YouTube channel with zero, that's a dumb idea.
Yeah.
But if you've put 5 years in and you've got enough of a base,
if you can be intelligent about it. But I think again, I mean, and you could say this for really any large employer, but you're at the mercy of Google. If they decide to change their algorithm, as they frequently do, you're fucked, and you're starting from square one.
Yep.
Or if the service goes down, that's your income gone.
But if you open a restaurant and all of a sudden something happens, your whole like, it's any kind of business has the risk reward paradigm involved.
Yeah, it's just a question of whether the risk supplements the reward.
Yeah.
Or if the risk is supplemented by the reward.
And for anyone to go and build their career around YouTube, it requires such an investment of time and energy to get to the point that you can, that I think you can make the decision based. It can be a very educated decision at that point. And that's something that a lot of people don't get. Plus, like, my income isn't 100% YouTube.
Really curious what Bangs is saying.
Yeah, really, that offended the YouTube bots.
I'm really curious now. Like, so, I really want to know.
And your ass and can ruin you overnight. I'm guessing by N-word you mean? I don't say that in my day-to-day vernacular because I think that's garbage, trash vernacular, and I don't think people should ever use that word.
Who said that? I don't see.
Bangs said that. I don't know if that's what he's referring to. I could be wrong.
Oh.
But yeah, like, if you're saying that on a public platform, you are going to lose everything, and you kind of deserve it. I don't think people should use that word. And then Twitch and YouTube out. Really that offended? I don't know what you're saying. Oh, okay. Bang says no. Okay, cool. We're good.
Good.
I couldn't decipher what you're saying, brother. But yeah, I don't honestly think I split the phrase. And you're all right. Larry's YouTube channel, do you think it's still easy to grow as a new YouTuber now? Because I see people who post shorts growing much faster than real channels, but no one watches their longer video content. Larry?
Yep, there's a lot of those.
Shorts, the problem with shorts is you'll get growth, but you don't get money.
Yeah, there's no monetary value really to shorts.
I saw a short with 4 million views that made like $20. Yeah, there's growth in shorts, but it's all relative to what you want to do, right? I mean, there's always room to grow as long form content. Well, by long form content, I mean like a 5 to 10 minute video.
Yeah.
But it's glacier slow because you need, in order to start triggering algorithms and triggering people that watch your videos, you need to put the work in, and it's 3 years. It'll be 3 years before you start making a decent amount of money on YouTube. Some people can do it in a year, but for the most part, it's 3 years of consistent uploading. And the amount of growth, like I was actually talking about this earlier in the live stream. I went back and watched a video from a year and a half ago that I thought at the time was like my best content. And oh God, it is garbage. And it's just because my content has come so far. And I was even talking to Sean Webb, who's usually in on the conversations here. And he was talking about, he asked me why my video was so short on Monday. And I told him, I said, I would rather have a 5-minute video with 70% retention than a 20-minute video with 30% retention.
Yeah.
And that's how my content's been going, because if people are noping out at 30%, my content isn't good. I recognize that. That's me. That's not the people not watching it. That's not the unfair YouTube algorithm. That's me not providing content to the viewer. The viewer is the person that dictates what I do. And that's just how it is. If like when I was doing guitar tests on microphones, you should have seen how quickly people noped out of the videos. Like completely out. That's why I don't do guitar. I know there's like 5-10 people that are like, no, I want to see the guitar. Yeah, but then it's not a sustainable model for me to do on YouTube. It's not sustainable for me to spend 30 hours on a video.
That's interesting. Larry's saying he's been watching a lot of your stuff and he doesn't like the stuff that's like plus 2 years old. What was the tip off, Larry? Curious. What do you find is the big difference or the thing that kind of rubs you the wrong way about the old stuff?
And that's actually like, even if I were to watch it, Larry, I don't like it either. There was a tipping point. Actually, once Larry shares, this is going to be fascinating. I find that most people who watch mic reviews for guitar are not the same people watching a review on music. That is very true. Yeah, the shorts do get an entirely different algorithm, Bangs. And because they can't really keep it with the algorithm, it doesn't work the same way because the algorithm has no idea what it's doing. So they had to write a new one so shorts weren't. Yeah, I watched a couple videos on that. It's fascinating. But it's interesting too because I go back 2 years on this channel. That was when I first moved into this house. And that was right when I started scripting my videos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
But that's also a massive part of content creation is recognizing what's going to make it better. I didn't watch a lot of them, but he seemed slower. Like his new videos seem to have more energy and things like that. Exactly. And that's why my videos are faster. They're shorter. They're not time dumps.
They're not full of fucking fluff.
Yeah. And so you develop when you're developing a channel, you're also developing your personality on the channel.
Yeah.
And that includes your humor. That includes, I know what jokes don't go.
Yeah, it's a brand.
Yeah. And while you're developing that brand, you're realizing the sex mic video coming out Monday is going to be a great example of that. It's learning how to develop content that people want to watch, but you can't do that until you do it. So I got to that point after, I've been doing this for 3.5 years, and it's only been the past year that I've really started to kind of catch on and do my content in a fluid motion without it taking me 30 hours to do a video. So, yeah, like the older videos from 2020 when he was talking about VO mics and stuff without any reviews. Yeah, and you know what? That's 2020. Yeah, that would be right before we moved in here. It's brutal, man. So sorry, many messages is character limit. Don't worry about it, buddy. I wasn't going to watch a 20 to 30 minute video. Don't remember how long it was, but most people watch videos around 10 minutes.
Well, yeah, I mean, let's be honest. We all have lives to get back to at some point. Yep. To carve out a half hour of my day, I only have 48 of those.
Yep. But then there's I remember I watched a Mr. Beast video. He had 100 girls in one circle, 100 boys in another. First one to leave with the most left after a certain period of time, won $500,000. And the video was under 10 minutes. There was another video. The chocolate factory was another one. I got to the end of the video and I'm like, holy shit, it's over? That was only 8 minutes long. But it's a whole story in those 8 minutes because even Mr. Beast is recognizing that people don't want to watch a 20-minute video. No matter how fun and feature-packed it is, he's whittling down his videos to as short as possible as well. And it really works. It really, really works. So I appreciate that, Larry. It's fascinating to see things that you learned, but kind of learned without learning them. You learned them, but you don't know how you learned them. They just kind of came along naturally.
You didn't realize that they've learned them, but now you're sitting here going, well, obviously you would do that, knowing full well at some point you wouldn't have said that.
That's why there's 2x speed. Bangs brings up a good point. Larry, I'll get into your last question there before we go. I asked a question, how many people watch on 2x speed? Because I have even with 100% watch time from subscribers, my time spent watching is usually around 55%, which makes me wonder how many of my regular viewers are watching sped up, because I was going to do a video where it was at 200% or at 175%, and you'd have to physically slow it down to see what happened, see whether or not people are actually watching it faster than it's supposed to be. I never ended up going through with it, but I am still I might release a video like that just to fuck around.
Just to see.
Larry wants to know, curious, probably a stupid question, who's the guy you're always streaming with? Only been a follower of your channel a couple weeks. By the way, Larry, this is Dylan. Anyone else that might be new here, by the way, this is Dylan Alone, one of the best young producers in Canada, working out of a major radio brand in Canada. Been friends for, it's almost 10 years now, buddy.
Yeah, it's coming up on the mark.
We met in radio broadcasting school. Now, about 2.5 years ago, I asked Dylan to help me on on a little video, and that little video was the difference between an SM58 and an SM7B.
Ah, yes.
And that video was the first quote unquote video to take off. It didn't take off. It got like 200 to 300 views a day, which at its best, like at its absolute best, which is decent. But
at that time, it was good for the channel. Now with 7,000 a day,
YouTube terms, it's crap. But at the time, it was like, holy crap, it's going viral.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to start a live stream up, and I was like, Dylan and I will sit on the phone. What'd Ken do?
Oh, he said I'm a badass.
Badass, yeah. I wanted to start a live stream. When Dylan and I get on the phone, it's usually about a 1 hour long conversation anyways. Yeah. Like literally we'll touch base and it's like look down, it's like, oh, it's been an hour and a half. Shit.
Yep. Yeah.
So I'm like, well fuck, why don't we do a live stream? We get to fuck around, we get to have a little fun, chat, and possible at some point money comes out of it. And this is always how it's been. This is actually one of my favorite parts of the channel. Is doing this live stream, which I know a lot of people think is lip service, but it's actually not. I really enjoy hanging out on the Friday.
Again, like neither of us really get any money out of this, so we're doing it because we enjoy doing this, because obviously there's many other things that we could be doing if we didn't like doing this.
Yeah, video length dropped when YouTube monitor 8-minute videos down from 10. Yeah, that's a big deal too. I try to keep all my videos under 8 minutes for that reason. And I know a lot of people are like, well, we would like the longer videos.
Fuck you, Bangs.
What?
You'll see.
Okay.
You'll see it.
Recently moved, never watched YouTube video plus speed. Beresford, short videos are basically the goal of my new channel. Short videos, not shorts. Like, and that's the thing, like...
there is a difference.
I started a new channel that I'm actively going to be working on, and it's inappropriate scripts read by a voiceover artist. And like for the first one, I did the intro scene to Civilization, the game, the Sean Bean read, but I did it as a Canadian. I'm going to do and this all stemmed from Marianne Iveson came over with some scripts to help me get back into shape for doing voiceover. But she brought me scripts like Nivea.
That's not helpful.
And I'm like, she's like, yeah, but you got to be ready for anything. I'm like, I'm pretty sure Nivea's not giving me the script. Okay. No. But what if I did? What if I read those as I would read other things? Like, what about a Nivea read like a Monster Truck read? So I'm literally doing these short form 30-second to 1 minute videos, but they're full videos. They're not shorts, because I don't think shorts, like, great that all the kids want to fight with TikTok, but I don't think it's going to happen. I like your channel because I like small channels like this where people can actually talk. It's not too big. Still hope you grow though. Yeah, no, that's the thing. Like I'm trying to, I can't respond to as many comments as I used to. YouTube doesn't even send me half the comments anymore. So if you think I'm ignoring you because I'm not like responding, I try to respond to almost every comment, positive comment that comes through. Yeah. But I'll be damned, man. There's days where I'll get 1,000 comments. I can't in a million years. However, you know, this is going to exist as long as it can. There are always going to be ways, and I think that those ways might be through the Discord. Even though, like this past week, especially, I haven't been on the Discord because of the injury and stuff like that. But I do think that that's going to continue through the Discord, and that's what I like. If you ever watch Podcastage, his Discord's the same. He's on Discord. You can chat with him. Very approachable. Even though he's on the larger end of channels in the mic industry, he's still approachable. He'll still chat with you. That's what I really like about Bandrew. I never watched 2X for mic reviews, and I think they hear the mic. I don't ever think I touch 2X on any videos. Interesting how many people use it. At Dylan is not bad.
So if you put 2 and 2 together,
yeah.
Apparently, I'm just an ass. I'm not a badass. I'm just an ass.
Nice. That's great.
That was good. That was good.
If he doesn't think you're not bad, what am I? I don't want to know what Banks thinks of me personally. Shorts can really sustain a channel. I feel like a couple years when Shorts and TikTok trends, these Shorts channels could die. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like I was reading up on MKBHD actually tweeted out today because somebody said that TikTok is basically the next Vine. It was the biggest thing in the world, and it's going to die. And MKBHD tweeted out that he'll eat AirPods if this actually comes to fruition. And a lot of people are like, are you sure you want to say that?
Yeah.
And like, there's a lot of things that can kill TikTok, and one is just the generation moving on from it.
Yeah.
If the next generation doesn't pick up TikTok, like Facebook, my generation was the first to start Facebook. And
Yeah,
while
and
it's
it was
big,
huge. Like when I was in late high school and stuff, Facebook was the shit.
and it still is, but if you ask a 20-year-old, Facebook's garbage.
Oh God,
And-
well, Facebook's for old people now.
And here's the thing, as the TikTok generation grows up, are they going to maintain their accounts on
Probably not.
TikTok like old people do on
Well, no,
Facebook? Probably not.
because real life hits, and at some point you have to be an adult and start doing adult things, and can't be sitting on your ass making
Right.
videos all day. So
YouTube sucks now. One time I got a video taken down. They never emailed me. I found out who knows how long later when I went to rewatch it. I haven't had a video taken down yet. I'm pretty vanilla though. Bangs, do you see what happened to Instagram last week? Ugh. Yeah, Instagram kind of got their ass handed to them by celebrities.
what happened to Instagram? I'm out of the loop.
Instagram basically went full reel, and you never go full reel. Basically, they moved to like this randomized reel order when you scrolled through Instagram.
Oh,
and
wow.
I believe it was the Kardashians that basically told them to smarten up, and they're like,
Of
"We're
course
sorry."
It was.
So-
You know if the Kardashians are telling you to smarten up, you
Yeah.
done fucked up.
Yeah, TikTok is literally government-sponsored surveillance. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, taken down for copyright music. That's why I use Epidemic Sound. Link is in the video description. Not this one, though. The other video description. Speaking of how you make money, that's another way you make money. Anyways, it's 6:08. Considering I'm still dealing with a concussion and all that stuff, I'm going to call it there.
Let's call it.
I appreciate everybody coming out. This is a surprise stream. I promise things are going to be back to normal in a couple weeks. I do know next week there definitely won't be a stream. We're going to be in Prince Edward Island, and I'm going to be probably on a beach somewhere. So
The following week, I'm not going to be in town here, so we'll try to do what I did at Christmas.
Okay.
I'll make a bit of an impromptu rig outside.
okay, sounds good. Like I mean, worst case, I can go live solo, but I would rather have you here. It's more fun with you, Dylan.
Yeah. We'll see what makes sense at the time, and we'll do her.
Yeah, sounds good, guys.
Do her.
Concussed Aiden is best Aiden. Shame. You know, I gotta say though, having a concussion and avoiding all this stuff, yeah, actually, concussed Aiden is pretty good Aiden, man. I like concussed Aiden. However, I also like watching TV sometimes. So, all right, guys, have a great